Nokia is known for its communications and now has gotten into drones. Why?
Well, I think if we look back a bit more than a year ago, like 1.5 years ago, you saw that Nokia was changing not only its legendary logo, its legendary branding, but we were also changing our strategy fundamentally from a pure telecommunications company towards a B2B technology provider. And with our drones portfolio and with our private wireless portfolio, we are really at the core of this new strategy. We want to bring together the power of our actual DNA, the power of connectivity, with new use cases from the robotics worlds. And I think Nokia Drone Networks itself is really at the core, at the heart of Nokia's new global strategy. That on the one hand. On the other hand, if we look a little bit back, we have been in the game of drones since 2016, 2017, when we started a couple of corporate social responsibility activities, when we started to explore what is it actually that we can do good between with those two major things, like this new technology, drones, and connectivity technology that was based on 4G LTE at that time. So that's really where we are coming from. And personally, as a division leader of a voluntary fire station, I'm really excited to see that our drones are picking that well up in the drones as a first responder business at the moment, primarily in Europe, obviously. But I think, Barry, we're going to tell more about the US in a moment.
Well, and Barry, you have 20 years as a volunteer law enforcement officer. Is that right?
Yep.
So we got a firefighter and a law enforcement officer here.
And
that's so cool.
And we're getting along. That's amazing. No conflict here.
There you go. There you go. Well, perfect. And Flying Lion, I mean, if you're in this industry and you don't know Flying Lion, I don't know where you've been. By the way, Barry was on the show before, back in February, for All About Data Month, talking about the data that drones contribute to law enforcement and public safety, professionals, and how it is different and how you must treat it differently. So we'll drop that link. And if you missed that show, go back and watch it. Really great stuff, because we talked all about Flying Lion. We're going to talk about you more, obviously. But, Thomas, I want to talk about this Nokia Drone Networks solution very specifically. And, what was the origin story here? Like, what motivated Nokia to say, hey, we're going to create a whole entire ecosystem, our own drone, the communications network, so that we can help a bunch of different industries. What was the inspiration for this?
Yeah, I mean, it started really as a corporate social responsibility type of activity back in 2016. And we figured that with the thing that we have been doing ever since, communication technology, cellular connectivity, the connectivity that all our phones work with, bringing that together with the topic of drones, or also autonomous robots for manufacturing or other industries, we can really make a difference. And when we look at drones in particular, I mean, we have cellular connectivity. We have connectivity for our mobile phones in pretty much every corner of the world nowadays. That is part of our infrastructure since GSM or 2G was invented. And why not leveraging this infrastructure, this technology that we as Nokia have been doing ever since for those new use cases, such as drones? And one very unique point that we saw from a market perspective is that also gave us really a massive acceleration. We know very well what it means to work together with service providers and what it means to establish or bring technology to the market for companies that are running a service with our technology. In the telecommunications business, we are delivering base stations, antennas, radios, and whatnot. And the AT&Ts, the Verizons, and the T-Mobiles in the world create nationwide networks in order to run a service for everybody who has a mobile phone. In the same way, we figured that we are actually able to deliver our Nokia Drone Networks technology to those drones as a service providers out there and enable the drone pilots and the drones as a service companies out there to run a geographically wide-ranging services, ideally if the regulation allows, even beyond visual line of sight. Yeah. So it's basically, you know, we are doing what we have been doing ever since at Nokia, but on top of that, we do now also drones. And I also believe, apart from that, with the organizational infrastructure that Nokia has, with the strong tie into what it means to develop and manufacture industrial grade products, we really have a chance to also help maturizing this drone industry and help to grow into the next size of shoes that is out there on the market.